Good afternoon, Mount Tabor homerooms. My name is Miss Hillary. For those of you who I have not met yet, I'm one of the counselors here, and I'm here today to talk about filling your emotional cup. So let's get into it. Today's objective, we're going to talk about how we can recognize and fulfill our own needs. And with these skills, we can better understand our own emotional needs and build some more self-awareness. So by the end of today, you will be able to have more confidence in your ability to recognize your own needs and what you may need to do to take care of or fulfill those needs. Before we get really rolling, let me move my face out of the way. Let's do a quick stress check. So looking at the scale here that's on the screen from 0 to 10 or green zone to red zone, where do you find yourself right now in this moment? So the 0 looks like you're in a pretty good space and are able to focus, and then all the way to 10 where you're feeling like so stressed that you're not really in control of your emotions right now. So I'm going to ask your teacher to pause the video now and discuss what's your stress level like right now. Thank you. So come on, slide. Let's talk about what I'm even talking about when I say my emotional cup. Emotional cup refers to your emotional well-being and needs. When your emotional cup is full, you might feel happy, confident, and secure in your relationship with yourself and with other people. When your emotional cup is empty or draining, you might feel stressed or angry or scared or hurt or really exhausted or any number of more negative emotions. So the emotional cup is like your emotional needs. It's important to take stock of your emotional cup or be aware of what the level's like in there, how full or empty is it at various times. So you can start to ask yourself questions like, are my needs being met? How full is my cup? Those questions are maybe rather large, but you could also ask like, wow, or think like, wow, I'm feeling so angry or irritable at everything right now. What's going on? And that might be a clue that your emotional cup is a little low, and maybe there's a need that needs to be met. And you can explore different ways of meeting that need, but it's a good clue that something's going on that you could maybe take care of. And so when you or think about how full your cup is and are noticing it's a little empty, you can start to identify ways to fill the cup. So what can I do to feel more happy, confident, and secure? That's another really large question, but you could break it down using the example again, like, wow, I'm so irritable right now at everything. What is something that I can do to take care of whatever needs not being met that might help me feel a little more happy than just irritable at everything? And this will be different for everyone, and it can be easier said than done. But when you continue to practice, it becomes more second nature and easier to do. So I think for myself, if I was noticing I'm so irritable, what's going on? I think a way that I might try to meet that need is to take a step outside and get some breaths of fresh air, because being on the computer all day can make me kind of irritable. And then I notice that a need that I have is to get some fresh air and take a break to de-stress. But it would be different for you, probably. Filling our cups. Keeping track of how full our emotional cup is can help us know when we have needs that need to be met to feel more happy and confident, like we talked about before. Sometimes this can take practice as well. Maybe if you're not used to like thinking about how you're feeling in the moment and what that might mean you have to do. This can be a good time to practice, but some needs that we all might have include sleep, the need for food and nutrition and support from those around us, basic safety, need to be accepted by people around us, need for attention, and the need for fun. So those needs range from like just the basic needs for human survival that do kind of apply to all of us, to things like fun, which is a need for a life that is more fulfilled. But you also may have needs that aren't on this list or that didn't come up, or maybe you thought of needs that I didn't include here. So it's an expansive list that includes everything. So I would love for your teacher to pause the video now to discuss what are some other needs that came up for you when you were looking at those or thinking of others that are not included there. Maybe they're personal to you, or you think they're like universal for everybody. What are some other needs? Thanks for sharing all of those needs, everyone. The next thing I'm wondering, and I'm going to have your teacher pause one more time here, is do you feel like everybody has the same needs? Or are you more feeling like you have different needs and your friends have different needs and everybody has a little bit different needs? Where do you stand on that issue? Do people have the same or different needs? If your teacher could pause here. Thanks, everyone. Now let's move along. Come on, slide. So now that we talked about some needs that humans may have, or you have, or other people you know have, we'll talk about some ideas for ways to meet those needs or address those needs when they're not being met. And these are just some things I came up with. It's, again, not a list of everything, because the things that are here may not work for you, and the things that work for you may not be what I would choose to do. So while we're going through these, I'd love for you to think of some other ideas of ways that you might address some needs that you have to fill your emotional cup. So what are some things that you can do to fill your emotional cup? But here's some ideas. If you're noticing that like you are feeling pretty down, maybe you're not spending enough time meeting the need for fun in your life, and perhaps spending time doing something you love would be helpful. I know that when I'm feeling really like sad about tons of things all day, that can be a good indicator that I haven't gotten enough sleep. So getting enough sleep, taking a nap, or going to bed early sometimes can help meet that need. If you're noticing you're feeling super overwhelmed, maybe taking a break to do something relaxing. If you need some more connection in your life, connecting with people you care about, which can be more challenging these days, but finding a way to talk to a friend or family member. And then maybe again, if you're feeling super overwhelmed or stressed out, asking for help can be a good way to fill your emotional cup and meet that need. Now, I am curious about your own ideas of ways that you would fill your emotional cup when you're noticing your needs aren't being met or your emotional cup is getting a little low. So please, if you could pause the video here and discuss as a class, what are some other strategies or ideas for filling your emotional cup? Some activities or things you can do. And perhaps by sharing your ideas, you may give another person in your homeroom an idea to try for next time. So it can be really helpful to hear everybody's strategies. Thank you so much. All right. So that was the end of the presentation piece. I just have one more activity that I'll have you do together about filling your emotional cup right now. And then I just have a quick exit ticket that your teacher will share with you in the chat at the end. But I'm going to show you our Jamboard activity and have you work on that as a class. But thank you so much for listening and being here with me today and for filling out the exit ticket. It's super helpful. So let's go to the Jamboard. All right. 1 second. Right, here we go. So this is what your Jamboard will look like, your class Jamboard. And there are two things that I would love for you to do so we can all see everybody's strategies for filling their own cups or ideas, and then also where everyone's at right now, like what level is your emotional cup at currently. So the first thing is on the cup here, if you could use the pen tool. Will this be better? You could use this pen tool to then mark where on the cup you feel like you're at right now. That's kind of annoying, that cursor. And then we'll get to see as a class how everyone's feeling at the moment, and maybe you want to share more. And then with the sticky note feature, if you could, I'll give an example. Put a little sticky note over in our picture for your strategies that are helpful for you for filling your emotional cup and addressing your needs when you notice they're not being met and your cup's a little empty. So, and I'd love to hear more about those strategies in your class discussion as well. That's what we'll do with the Jamboard, and then the exit ticket will be in the chat after that. Thank you so much for participating, everyone, and nice to speak with you today.